Okay, so now we're going to try to do the spiral slide. This is a lot more involved than what the tunnel slide is, so you may have to stop, you may have to rewind, you're really going to have to pay attention to how this lays out, or it's not going to work quite right. So this is the drawing that you're given. You see that there's a outside dimension of 24, an inside dimension of 22, and an overall height of 132. So we'll get to those here in a little bit. So let's jump over into Inventor. And you're going to start a new part, as we always do. Now, the first step on this is to create a vertical line, and it doesn't really matter where, straight up, that's 24 inches long. And I'm going to cancel that, and then I'm going to create a second line over here somewhere, horizontal, that's 18 inches long. And cancel that. Click on Zoom All so you can see everything. I am going to pull these dimensions off of the line just for clarification's sake. Okay, and you see how my lines are close together here. I'm going to grab my line and actually scoot my line over. Okay, so that's step one. Step one and step two, create the two vertical lines. Now we're going to draw two circles. One big, one small. And cancel your command. Now we want these to be concentric circles, which means the center points are in the same location. You could drag those over and try to line them up. But the correct way to do that is to use the concentric constraint, which is right here. You click it and click the two circles, and it will snap them together. And now they share the center point. So when you pick those up and move them, they move together. So we need to dimension them to the proper size. The outside is 24. The inside is 22. And cancel your dimensions. Now we need to get the circles attached to this line. So we're going to pick up the center point and drag it down towards this right end, and then you can zoom in just to make sure that it is in fact on the line. Let me get back over here. Okay, so we're in pretty good shape. Vertical line, horizontal line, two circles. Now we're going to start trimming this out to actually create the U-shaped part of the slide. But first we need to turn this vertical line into a center line. So if you click the line and come to your upper right hand part of your ribbon, you see the icon for center line, and you see how it changes it to a long dash, short dash line. That's important. After you do that, we have to get the center point of the circle the correct distance away from the center line. So we're going to dimension from the outside of the circle to the center line, and we want that to be 36. And you see how that's splitting. It's actually 18 from center to here. From center line to center point, it's 18, but it's 36 all the way across, which is what we want. Okay, next step. We're going to increase the length of this line to 36 so it cuts all the way across our circles. I'm going to cancel that, and then I'm going to delete the dimension. Deleted too much. Let's delete that dimension, delete that dimension. Now we're better. We're going to trim this out, and then we're going to revolve this using a different command around our center line. So we need our lines to touch. Not up here, but on the very end of the line. And it's probably best if you zoom in on it so you know that you're getting it to touch. We'll zoom all, and so we should be like that. We have a vertical line that's a center line. We have a horizontal line that touches our center line, cuts all the way across our two circles. So now we're going to trim everything out. So we select trim. We want to trim the top half of the circle, the inside top half of the circle, and the two outside pieces of line, and then we also want to trim the inside. So all you have left of your original horizontal line are the two little caps on what is now this U-shaped arc underneath. At this point, we're ready to finish the sketch. Click on home and bring it back on the screen. Now, we want to, this is a spiral slide, so it's going to coil around. If you think like a spring, our command is going to be coil, and you can find this. It may actually show as sweep initially, but if you get your drop down box and come down to coil, it will pop up. You may have to move it out of the way a little bit because you want to be able to see your line. We want to select axis here and then click the line. You see how I hover over it, it turns white. We want to select that, and you see it throws our arc around. Go to coil size, change to revolution and height. We want 3 revolutions, and you see how that gives it to us here, 1, 2, 3. And our height now, if you remember from the drawing, is 132. But here's a problem that I have. My coil is going up. We don't want our coil to go up. We want it to go down. So come back to shape, and under axis, click the red arrow, blue arrow, and it will turn it so it goes down like that. So we should be there. To finish, just click OK. And it magically creates our coil slide. Once again, you can change it to whatever color you want. I'm going to do mine in red for whatever reason. And that's it. That's the coil slide. As you rotate it, you can see that it's got a hole in the center that could be run down a pole where you spiral slide around a pole, or it just has that opening because of the way the diameters of the circles worked. So that's what we're looking for. If you didn't get this, then back the video up. You may have to start over, do whatever it takes, but try to get this done. Save it as spiral slide, and then we'll be ready to start all of our assemblies.